Alright, good afternoon, Arkansas. This is Assistant Chief Forecaster Kim back here once again, and as promised, if there was a tornado warning here in Arkansas, we were going to be live for it, okay? So this is what we got going at this point. This is down in far southeastern Arkansas here, but I want to kind of talk to you guys while I have everybody here, okay? I want everyone to take a deep breath. I know everybody's kind of anxious about what's going on, etc. I know everyone's kind of worried about what's going on at this point. This entire line is capable of producing damaging winds, okay? We're watching this entire line closely, but this is where the severe weather is ongoing at this point here, down here in southeastern Arkansas at this time here, okay? So the warning is in southeastern Arkansas at this time. This is for Ashley County. This is just to the east of Crossett at this point here, okay? So this is going to go until 2:15, and we'll read you guys the warning. Tornado warning for southeastern Ashley County, northwestern Morehouse Parish, which is in northeastern Louisiana. That's going to go until 2:15 this afternoon. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 8 miles northwest of Sterlington, or 15 miles west of Bastrop, moving northeast at about 50 miles per hour. So hazard tornado source radar indicated rotation here. So as you've been seeing, as we've been talking guys about over the last couple of hours here, that we were going to watch these storms coming out of Louisiana. There's been a lot of tornado warnings down here in Louisiana over the last couple of hours here, and now we're starting to get these storms to move northeast into southeastern Arkansas, okay? So if you know anyone across it, let's zoom down, let's take a look at this real quick, okay? So if you know anyone in Crossett or in Hamburg or Wilmot, they do need to be taking their tornado precautions immediately. Never get away from windows, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Get to the lowest area of your home immediately here, okay? And also, we're talking Highway 165 that runs from Montrose down into Louisiana here. We're also talking about Highway 425 that runs just south of Hamburg, or just to the southeast of Crossett at this time here, okay? So central and southern Ashley County, you are under that tornado warning at this point, okay? This storm is moving to the northeast. As I said before, moving northeast at about 50 miles per hour, so it's not wasting any time coming in here. I may have to switch the radar over to our radar in Jackson at this point here. But folks, if you're needing information, if you're needing constant radar information, please check out our website, guys. We have all that information you need on our website, arkansasweatherwatchers.readly.com. That's where you're going to find that information at this point here, okay? So when there's a tornado warning, this is where our focus is going to be at this time. And as you can see, there's a tornado warning coming out of Louisiana, coming into southeastern Arkansas, okay? So maybe for just a bit, we're getting the newest information in at this point. Give me 1 second. Let me switch this over, okay? And it should be coming up here shortly. I just had to switch radars from Little Rock over to our Jackson radar here. But you can see the track, okay? There's a track from this storm that's coming out of Bastrop, and it's going to be moving northeast here. So we're talking Crossett, we're talking West Crossett, we're talking over towards Hamburg, and also Wilmot, right around that 135 to 140 time frame here. So you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately in this area. Maybe get away from windows, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Get to the lowest area of your home immediately here. And this is a tornado warning that's coming out of northern Louisiana, near the Farmerville area, near the Monroe area. This is coming out of Louisiana, coming into far southeastern Arkansas at this point, okay? So just kind of keep that in mind. Also, on this before, I know there's a lot of people worried about what's going on elsewhere across the natural state. Please keep in mind that this is where the strongest storm is at this point, okay? This is where the tornadic thunderstorm is at this point. Everybody else along that line, and especially behind that line, you are good to go. That's all of western Arkansas at this point, okay? So western Arkansas, you're done with this severe weather threat. If you're in Hamburg right now, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from the windows, put as many walls to you and the outside as possible. Get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this point here. So maybe for just a bit, and we'll see if I can get our radar back up and going here, guys. But so before, let me see if I can switch this over to our national radar at this point here. Okay, so there's our national radar. It should be coming up here shortly. So far, we've had a little bit of technical difficulties this morning, but you can see the general motion here. There's your storms coming out of northeastern Louisiana that is moving due northeast. Okay, so there's the track with this, and we're going to keep this up for just a little bit. But that's the current tornado warning for Ashley County here at this point, okay? We're going to zoom this out and show you guys what else is going on at this point, kind of reinsert some minds here in Arkansas. There's a line of storms that is just east of the metro now, east of Heber Springs, down towards Pine Bluff, and down into eastern Union County. If you are behind this line of storms, you are in the clear, okay? All this rainfall that's going on over here is stabilizing your atmosphere, all right? So you are in the clear if you are in western or central Arkansas at this point. Our attention is now shifting to eastern Arkansas, areas that haven't seen anything all day. So this is what we're talking about at this point, guys. So before, if y'all are having any issues, you may have to back out of the live stream. Facebook's been kind of giving us some issues today in terms of the overall quality of the live streams here. But there's the current tornado warning at this point. This is moving due northeast, okay, at about 50 to 55 miles per hour. So Hamburg, Wilmot, Montrose, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Also, if you know anyone in Lake Village over here, that's in Chico County, or in Dora or Kilbourne, they need to be taking their tornado precautions immediately in this area. Also, the Dermont area, you're in this path as well here. So this is tracking in the far southeastern Arkansas at this point. This tornado warning is going to go until 2 o'clock this afternoon here, guys. So there's a track, there's a list of cities at this point. It's now coming out of western Monroe. Okay, coming out of northeastern Louisiana, it's moving into southeastern Arkansas by this point here, guys. Okay, so that's what we got going on at this point. And so for folks, if y'all need information about what's going on across the natural state, feel free to check out our page. Feel free to check out our website as well. Interactive radar on our page, guys. You're not going to miss anything, I promise you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom this out and we see if I can get our radar back up and running at this point here, guys. And so for we've had a lot of technical issues today in terms of technology trying to get everything back up and running with this. Okay, so it should be coming up here shortly. That's going to be the Jackson radar over here. I had to switch from Little Rock to Jackson, but it's basically going to tell you the exact same information we've been preaching. It's going to go for Ashley County. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be shocked that tornado warning actually gets extended further to the north and east here to kind of include Chico County at some point here. But this is in far southeastern Arkansas. Okay, this is across it over towards Portland and over towards the Lake Village area down here in far southeastern Arkansas. Everybody else, luckily for us, and I was talking about this yesterday, that the line of storms came through pretty quick and it wiped out our atmosphere, which is great. Okay, Eden, if you can do me a favor, tag the website link to the live stream. If you can do that for me, if you're listening to this live stream at this point here. Okay, so there's the storms at this point. Okay, we finally got our radar back up and running. There it is, right there near Bastrop. Okay, there's that area of rotation right there. That's going to move due northeast at about 50 to 55 miles per hour. So this is coming straight into Ashley County. It could make a run for Chico County if the rotation is allowed to continue. The one thing that's going on, the one thing that's been in our favor today, is that the line of storms that's coming through, although the line has been very intense when it comes through, it's been canceling out the supercell threat, which means that the tornado threat here in Arkansas has been very, very low. Alright, so that's really good news. We were able to get that line out through and pretty quick. And I was telling you guys that would be the best case scenario for us here in Arkansas, is to get that line in quick. That way we wouldn't have to deal with either the significant damaging wind or the significant tornado potential. But it's not going to do a 100% job, especially for our folks down here in southeastern Arkansas, where you're getting a good amount of instability in at this point here. Okay, so there's the tornado warning for Ashley County. Okay, this is going to push due northeast at 55 miles per hour. Eden posted the link to the website, so if you need information in terms of radar, please check out that link here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to see if I can try to pin that on the page here. Okay, so if you need that information, please check it out on the comments. Okay, it's pinned, so that way you guys can see it real quickly. Okay, and I know everybody asking about El Dorado, etc. El Dorado, you are well to the west of this. Okay, El Dorado, you are over here. Okay, the tornado warning's over here, so you're good to go in the El Dorado area. This is coming into Ashley County, so we're talking Crossit, talking Hamburg, over towards Wilmot, up towards Montrose, and then it's going to make a run for Chico County over here in far southeastern Arkansas. So just kind of keep that in mind. And we're still monitoring more thunderstorms that are going to try to make a run for southeastern Arkansas over the next hour or so as this line continues to push eastward. But as before, that line has been doing a really good job playing defense for us here in Arkansas. It's been keeping the severe threat to a minimum across much of the natural state here for much of the day here. And that's great news considering what happened this morning where we had multiple tornado warnings. We had the damage, the widespread damage up there in the Springdale area in northwestern Arkansas here. So to get a line through here pretty quickly and not cause too much damage, I say Arkansas got really lucky at this point here, okay? So we still have to get past southeastern Arkansas, still got to get to eastern Arkansas at this point, but once this line passes through, it will wipe out your atmosphere, okay? Your atmosphere will be done. You'll be done with the severe threat for today here, okay? Now, there may be an additional round of showers and thunderstorms as the main cold front pushes through, but that will be later on this afternoon and into the early and mid part of this evening, and that is going to be primarily maybe a hail or wind threat depending on how much we can get back from the atmosphere in terms of instability. But right now, this is where our focus is going to be with that tornado warning down here in southeastern Arkansas, northeastern Louisiana. There it is right there, folks, okay? There's the tornado potential storm right here, okay, where you see the kind of the bookend echo with that storm that's going to be pushing off to the northeast at about 50 to 55 miles per hour. So it's coming out of northeastern Louisiana, and it basically right now, if you were to make a track on this storm, I would put it probably going right over Bastrop and then going towards the Wilmot area more versus the Crosset area, okay? So Crosset, stay in your shelter, kind of ride the storm out, but I would say you're good to go. I think it's going to miss you to the southeast here. I'm more worried about the Wilmot area, and then it's going to try to make a run for Chico County, kind of brush Arkansas by the two counties in the southeast, and then it's going to make a run into Mississippi here. But if you know anyone in Greenville, if you know anyone in Wilmot at this point, monitor this storm very, very closely. This is where we're going to have that potential here. So watching that storm very closely. It's coming right through Bastrop at this point, but it's going to make a run to the northeast at about 55 miles per hour here, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to turn on the debris indicator at this point, all right, and we're going to zoom this down. And I said before, I'm taking a look at this, and I'm looking at it right in here, okay? There's some obvious road, and it's almost similar to what we just got through dealing with this morning with that tornado that was up there in the Springdale area, guys. I'm seeing evidence that there could be a weak, brief tornado right in here. That's that Sterlington, just southwest of Bastrop. So if you know anyone in Bastrop or Barnett or in Wilmot, or even in some cases Highway 165, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately in this area here, okay? Just keep that in mind across this area here. I'm going to go over to our rotation indicator real quickly, and you can see what's going on here, okay? So there's the rotation right in there, just to the south of Sterlington, or just to the southwest of Bastrop. It's moving northeast at about 55 miles per hour here, okay? So you can see what's going on. There it is right there. The track of that will take it towards Bastrop, towards Barnett, and then it's going to make a run from Wilmot, and then it's going to go into Chico County, which is in far southeastern Arkansas, the last county in Arkansas before getting into Mississippi. And then once it gets into Mississippi, that's when it's going to potentially, if it kind of breaks off by itself, we'll have to wait and see what happens over there in Mississippi. But there's going to be that storm right here, okay? There's that the area of rotation where your greens and your reds meets combined. That's where the area of rotation is at this point. And as I said before, what's going on is the line of storms that's coming in is playing defense with that line, with the storm, excuse me. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with this. Can it separate itself from the line and become separated by itself, etc.? That's the only thing we're going to watch. But still, regardless of what happens with this storm, it is tornado warned. It is capable of producing a tornado, so you do need to be taking your tornado precautions and meeting this area here, okay? Now, a lot of people are asking about Warren, everywhere else in the natural state. Folks, take a look at the website. If you need to follow radar with us, please do that at this time here, okay? We're not going to be able to answer specific questions or specific county questions or anything like that, folks, okay? When there's a tornado warning, we have to focus on the tornado warning itself. If you need the information, please check out the pinned comment in the live stream. You can check out radar along with us, guys, and I promise you can, all right? But there is the area of rotation here. There's the tornado warning at this point. This is moving to the northeast at about 50 to 55 miles per hour here at this time here. So if you know anyone in Wilmot, along Highway 165 over here in Ashley County, and then you have Chico County over here as well. Tell them to take their tornado precautions immediately in this area here. We can zoom this out and show you guys what's going on here. So Louisiana has been taking the brunt out of this. Okay, you've had a lot of severe weather in Louisiana at this point. Okay, there's severe thunderstorms moving into southeastern Arkansas. Okay, so that was a tornado warning at this point going into Ashley County and into Chico County at this time here. But notice to the north of that tornado warning up here in Little Rock, everywhere else, there are no more warnings in Arkansas. Okay, there are no warnings in the natural state at this time here. Okay, so you are good to go. As long as there's no warnings in the natural state, you are good. Okay, the only warnings at this point is in far southeastern Arkansas. Okay, so please keep that in mind. This is pushing off towards the northeast at about 50 to 55 miles per hour here. But I'm gonna repeat, because I know there's a lot of people in the comments wondering about what's going on. Okay, there's tornado warnings in far southeastern Arkansas. Okay, our primary attention is going to go to that tornado warning. Okay, once that tornado warning has been allowed to expire, we'll talk about what's going on across the board. If you need that information, to repeat, if you need that information, check out the pinned comment, guys. All you got to do is check it out. It's going to show you radar. It's going to show you everything you need to know at this point, okay? So please keep that in mind, guys. But this is where our attention is going to be at this time here, where the tornado warning is at this point, because this is a threat to life and property at this time here, okay? So for some reason it got unpinned. I'm checking out the comments at the same time while I'm doing the tornado warning. If one of my forecasters can take care of that, for some reason it got unpinned in the comments here, but you can definitely see what's going on here. There's the area of rotation at this point, okay? Right there between Crossett and Bastrop, there's the area of rotation where that storm is moving to the northeast at about 50 miles per hour here, okay? So we're going to take a look at this. There's a new tornado warning over here in northeastern Louisiana. Boy, Louisiana's had a very, very long day down there in central and southern Louisiana, where they've had a lot of reports of damage from straight line wind damage and also tornadoes down there in southern and central Mississippi here. But you can see, not Mississippi, Louisiana, but you can see what's going on here. So there's that storm in question that's capable of producing a tornado here. But so for one thing that's going on, and you can see it's moving northeast, but it's moving east-northwest because the line itself is coming in and it's pushing that storm away from going due northeast. Okay, so that's why there's another tornado warning that just got issued for northeastern Louisiana, because this system is trying to fight the flow right now. Okay, the line's coming in playing defense, trying to keep this out of Arkansas, but at the same time the storm system has a mind of its own, so it's trying to push into southeastern Arkansas. So that's why there's a tornado warning for southeastern Arkansas. There's also another warning down in northeastern Louisiana to kind of account for a possible second area of rotation that may get going down there in northeastern Louisiana here. But still remaining your shelters up here in southeastern Arkansas. This is pushing quickly off to the northeast at about 50 miles per hour here, guys. So just kind of keep that in mind at this point. This is pushing very, very quickly, guys. So remember, take your tornado precautions. That's getting away from the windows, getting away from the exterior walls, putting many walls between you and the outside as physically possible at this point here, guys. Okay, but so for elsewhere across the natural state, you are relatively good to go here. The line is still pushing through, and that line will be capable of producing straight line wind damage and also the potential of small hail, and we are going to watch for any sort of rotation along that line here. But it's quickly moving eastward here, guys. So the brunt of the severe weather, as you can see down here in northern and central Louisiana, where you have multiple tornado warnings at this point, multiple severe thunderstorm warnings at this point, and 9 times out of 10 when they get severe weather down here in Louisiana, it robs our moisture here in Arkansas, and it keeps us from seeing an outbreak of severe weather for us here in the natural state. So Louisiana kind of took the bullet for us today across the natural state, but it's still not over yet. We still got to get that line through Arkansas before we can announce an all clear here. And there will be a second round, but we'll talk about that kind of later on here. But there's the tornado warning at this point. Okay, so we're going to zoom this down into Ashley County here. Okay, so we're talking, this is just east of Crossett. So Crossett, you're not in the tornado warning itself. This is just east of Crossett here, but we're talking the Parkdale area over towards Wilmot, just south of Hamburg. Okay, so Crossett itself, the county, is under the warning, but Crossett and North Crossett, you are not in the tornado warning. This is just to the east and southeast of Crossett this time. So this is coming over Parkdale and coming over Wilmot and Ashley County. Okay, and this is going to make a run for Portland, for Montrose, and then it's going to make a run for Lake Village and Eudora by the time we get towards, I would say, a little bit after the 2 o'clock hour at this time here. Okay, so there's your storm in question. Let's zoom this back out right here where you see those darker reds and the pinks on the radar. That is where your area of rotation is at this point. This is moving out towards northeast at about 50 miles per hour here. Okay, so that's the area of rotation at this point. This is the only tornado warning in the natural state. Okay, nowhere else has the tornado warning at this time here. This is the only tornado warning at this point. This is moving out towards northeast at about 50 miles per hour here. Okay, so everyone that's asking about Central Arkansas, yes, you are in the clear. Okay, Central, Western, Northwestern, Western Arkansas, Southwest, you are in the clear at this point. Okay, I promise you, you're good. Unless there's a warning for those storms. They are not severe. They will be strong coming in. They will have a lot of energy coming in with them. Wind, cloud ground lightning, also small hail with those storms. Okay, but unless there's a warning with those storms, then they're not severe at this point. This is where our attention is at this point. This is where the tornado warning is down here in Ashley County and Chico County at this time here. Okay, so bear me for just a bit. Okay, watch storm south Hazen as well. We're going to keep an eye on that. Okay, let me see here. Take a look at this real quickly. Okay, so alright. Okay, got it. Alright, so this is the only tornado warning at this point for Arkansas at least. There's multiple tornado warnings down here in northeastern Louisiana here, but there's your storm in question right there coming into Bastrop at this point, and it's going to continue to move on towards northeast here. So if you know anyone in Parkdale or in Wilmot, they do need to be taking their tornado precautions immediately. We're going to stop radar for just a bit, and we're going to put a track on this storm here. Okay, so maybe for just a second, I may have to switch this back over to our level 2 radar here for just a bit. Okay, so that's going to put the radar off for just a bit. It's going to come back on at this time here, but the storm itself is basically right in here just to the west of Bastrop, moving northeast at about 50 miles per hour. Okay, so we're talking Wilmot, we're talking Parkdale, Portland, and Eudora coming up at the 2 o'clock hour here at this time here. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. You need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately in this area. Get away from windows, put as many walls to you on the outside as possible. Get to the lowest area of your home immediately in these areas. Okay, so bear me for just a bit. Let me see if I can get our radar back up and running for once again, guys. And I apologize for the radar issues, guys. This radar has been running since about 2 o'clock in the morning last night here, so it's gonna have its times where it's trying to come back in and come back out at the same point. Let's go back over to our reflectivity here. Should be coming out. There it is. Okay, so there's the area of rotation right here. Okay, that's just to the north, actually just to the northwest of Bastrop now. It's moving very quickly, and it's going to track towards Wilmot, towards Parkdale, and also towards the Portland area at this time here. Okay, so this is quickly pushing off towards northeast about 50 miles per hour. I'm not sure what's going on in White County, guys, but I promise you White County is in the clear. Okay, there's no warnings in White County at this point. I'm pretty sure the line itself is coming through White County right now. That line is going to have a lot of wind energy with it. I promise you, it's gonna feel like a severe storm moving through with that line, but I promise you it's not severe. It's a very strong line of thunderstorms moving through that area at this point here, guys. But this is where the tornado warning is at this point. This is in northeastern Louisiana. There's a new update for the tornado warning here. So it goes for 2:15 for southeastern Ashley County and southeastern Arkansas, northwestern Morehouse Parish. Severe thunderstorms capable of producing a tornado was located along the line extending from near North Crossett to 6 miles south of Gallon, moving northeast at about 55 miles per hour here. So hazard radar indicated rotation. This is going to move towards Wilmot right around at 2:10 time frame, and it's going to move towards Jones right around 2:05 as well here. Okay, so take cover now. Get away from the windows. Get away from the exterior walls. If you are outdoors in a mobile home or you are in a vehicle. Move to the closest substantial shelter. Protect yourself from flying debris at this point here, guys. So before, there's the tornado warning that's going to go for southeastern Ashley County until 2:15 this afternoon here, okay? So not very long for now, but we're watching this storm very closely as it's pushing off to the north and east here, okay? So there it is right there, just north of Bastrop at this point. It looks to be kind of attempting to try to separate itself from the line of storms that's coming out of northeastern Louisiana. You can see what happened. Come up right up I-20, been tornado warning the entire time, and now it's moving into southeastern Arkansas here. So it's going to make a run from Wilmot. It's going to make a run from Portland. And I would not be shocked, based off of the latest trends with this storm, is that it could potentially put a tornado warning up here towards Lake Village at some point if the rotation continues to show pretty decent rotation with this. So something to kind of keep an eye on here. It's just pushing off to the north and east at about 50 to 55 miles per hour here. But this is going towards Wilmot. This is going to go towards Portland. This is going to go towards Lake Village in this area. This is going to stay east of Crossett. This is going to stay east of El Dorado. This is going to stay east of Johnson City. This is going to stay east of Huddock. Okay, this is staying east of western Ashley County. Okay, so if you're in Crossett right now, the tornado warning itself is right there on your doorstep. So you still need to take those tornado precautions. Still take those precautions while that tornado warning is just on your doorstep. But this direct impact from the storm is going to miss you to the south and east. And you can see it is flying. It came straight from I-20. Just a second ago, it was just southwest of Bastrop. Now it's making its run into southeastern Arkansas. And as I called it, we do now have a new tornado warning I want to talk to you guys about, and it goes for Lake Village. Okay, so the new tornado warning goes for Chico County, southeastern Arkansas, and eastern Ashley County until 2:45 this afternoon. Severe thunderstorms capable of producing a tornado located along the line extending from Old Mallow to Berlin to near Gallon, moving northeast at about 55 miles per hour. Okay, so there's now a new tornado warning that's going to go until 2:45 this afternoon here, moving straight into Lake Village at this point. Okay, so you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately in this area. Where this is pushing very, very quickly towards the Greenville area, and it's going to make a run for Highway 61 that's in far western Mississippi. So if you know anyone on 61 out here, they need to be taking their tornado precautions immediately. Even though you're not in the warning, this storm is headed towards that area, okay? If you know anyone in Lake Village right now, they need to be taking their tornado precautions immediately in this area here as well. That's going to go towards Highway 65, Highway 165 over here, Highway 82, and Highway 65 over here. So 82, 65, and 165. If you know anyone or yourself or on those highways right now, find a substantial shelter and take cover immediately in these areas here. I cannot stress that enough. But so far, the storm is flying. It's moving northeast very quickly, almost 60 miles per hour. So it's not going to waste any time getting into actually in Chico County. As a matter of fact, it's now in southern Ashley County, and it's now moving due northeast into Chico County here. So Lake Village, as I've been mentioning over the last 15 to 20 minutes, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately in this area here. Okay, so there's a new tornado warning if you're just now tuning in. It goes until 2:45. It's going to go for Chico County and eastern Ashley County until 2:45 this afternoon. Severe thunderstorms capable of producing a tornado located along the line extending from near Old Mallow to Berlin to Gallon, moving northeast at about 55 miles per hour here. So what we're going to do, maybe for just 1 second, I'm going to see if I can switch this back over to our NETSRAD radar here. Okay, so we got NETSRAD back up. Alright, and we're going to go over to our storm relative velocity here. That hopefully should be loading up pretty quickly here. And the storms we had the storms here in Little Rock earlier kind of interfering with our internet connection as well here. So if you do see some blurriness in this live stream, I do apologize, but you can see what's going on here. Okay, so there's the area of rotation that's coming up by the way here, but there it is right here. Okay, moving due northeast at about 55 miles per hour here, right in here. Okay, so coming right into Bonanza right now. It's going to come into southern Ashley County, and then it's going to make a run for Chico County within the next, I would say, 20 to 25 minutes here. Okay, so take your tornado precautions immediately in this area. Get away from windows, put as many walls to you and the outside as possible. Get to the lowest area of your home immediately in this area. We do have one of our chasers that is out here. I'm trying to get his information at this point. He's going to try to give us some insight once this gets into Chico County, but we're going to have to wait and see what happens with that here, guys. But this is pushing off towards northeast, so this is going to impact actually in Chico County only, okay? DeShay County, this is well to your south, okay? This is not going to impact DeShay County. This is going to impact Ashley in Chico County down here in far southeastern Arkansas, all right? So, as I said before, let's take back to the radar for just a bit. There's the area of rotation here. Now, notice something. When it was coming out of Louisiana, once again, similar to what happened this morning, when these areas of rotation were coming out, one was coming out of Oklahoma, once again in Arkansas, it went. The rotation is not as impressive as it was before. Still take your tornado precautions. Tornado warning still remains in effect in this area. However, still monitor this storm here, okay? Because regardless if it doesn't produce a tornado, it's definitely going to produce damaging winds, okay? So damaging wind threat is definitely going to be there with these storms. They're going to push off towards northeast at almost 60 miles per hour, guys. So Wilmot, Portland, Hamburg, Lake Village, and Eudora, you're not in quote-unquote the warning, but I would still tell you to take your tornado precautions. Also, Greenville and Dermot. Dermot, you're on the northern edge of this, but still, you don't want to take any risk with these types of storms. Take your tornado precautions just to be on the safe side here. Kilbourne, same thing goes for you. The warning is just to your northwest, but you don't want to take any kind of risk whenever you're dealing with these areas of rotation. So still take your tornado precautions immediately. I'm seeing in the comments, guys, if let me see here, the pin is gone for some reason. Give me 1 second. I can attempt to get, let me see here. Okay, I'm going to attempt to get our radar back up on our live feed, because a lot of people are asking about what's going on across the natural state here. Okay, so give me 1 second. Okay, it should be pinned up pretty shortly. Okay, so there it is at this point. And so far, we've had a lot of problems with Facebook today for some reason, in terms of the comments or anything like that and stuff like that. Technical issues today, but as you can see, there's the area of rotation right here, northeastern Louisiana, coming into southeastern Arkansas at this point. Just looking at it right now, the rotation itself looks pretty broad, but you do not want to let your guard down in these areas, guys. Take your tornado precautions immediately in this area. What we're going to do is I'm going to take this over to our base velocity over here, okay? So we're going to go over here. We're going to use level 3 for just a little bit, okay? So basically there it is right there where you see your greens and your reds kind of combine into one. That is where your area of rotation is. It's pretty broad, but it's still there, okay? So Montrose, Portland, Parkdale, Wilmot, over towards Lake Village. Take your tornado precautions immediately in this area here, guys. So before, let me see here. Okay, so alright, so we're good to go. Let me see if I can. Okay, alright, so it's pinned to the comments now. It should be good to go. I'm not sure why it keeps doing that for some reason, but the link has been pinned up in the comments, guys, so you should be able to go check out our website, which is going to have the interactive radar here. So there's the area of rotation at this point. I'm going to see if I can stop our radar for just a second here, okay? So this is right in here, okay? Coming into Wilmot right now, there's a tornado warning here. That one was going to go until 2:15, which should be expiring pretty quickly. And then this one's going to go until 2:45. That's going to go for the Lake Village, Montrose, the Portland area, over towards Parkdale, over towards Hamburg at this point here, okay? And there's also to kind of take effect of the entire storm itself. There's now a severe thunderstorm warning. That's going to go until 2 o'clock, for only 4 more minutes with that. But it is tornado possible, capable of producing 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts with this storm here. So we're going to go back over to our reflectivity memory for just a bit. And that should be coming up real shortly here, guys. So there it is right there, okay? So there's the area of rotation right here, and it's going to push out towards north and east here at about 55 miles per hour. So take your tornado precautions immediately in this area. Get away from the windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Get to the lowest area of your home immediately in these areas here. I cannot stress that enough. I'm going to go back over to our level 3 radar here, because level 2 is having a lot of issues today for some reason, okay? So there's a track with that. So we're talking Bonita, we're talking towards Wilmot, Parkdale, Portland, Montrose, Jerome, Lake Village, Arkansas City, which is up here in the far northeastern corner of this tornado warning, and then we have Greenville, which is along the Arkansas-Mississippi border along the Mississippi River at this point here. So if you have any interest that's going to take the crossing into Mississippi, take your tornado precautions immediately if you know anyone along the river at this point here, okay? So this storm is quickly moving out towards northeast here. Several tornado warnings in place right now. This is going to quickly move off towards northeast about 50 to 55 miles per hour here, okay? Alright, so we're going to go back over here. Give me 1 second here. See if we can get, so we can attempt to get our level 2 back up once again. But let me see here. Okay. Alright, so right in here. Alright, so let me see here. Okay, there's the area of rotation coming in. It should be loading up here shortly, guys. But let me go back over to this one. Okay, so there we go. Alright, so there's the radar at this point. As you can see, coming out of northeastern Louisiana, southeastern Arkansas. This is the area of rotation coming in. Montrose, Wilmot, Lake Village, Eudora. Take your tornado precautions immediately in this area. We're going to zoom this out and show you guys what's been going on here. So take a look at Louisiana, by the way. Look at all these severe thunderstorm warnings at this point, okay? So this trend helped us here in Arkansas to avoid the severe weather threat this afternoon here. There's still multiple warnings, and we'll take a look at that one that just got issued. I believe that is a severe thunderstorm warning. As a matter of fact, that's a special weather statement up there. So it goes until 2:30. That's going to go for 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts going into eastern Arkansas at this point here. So the severe threat for much of Arkansas is quickly dwindling across the point, but we're still monitoring far southeastern Arkansas. This is going to go until 2:45 this afternoon here. This is the far 2 roads of counties down here in southeastern Arkansas before you go over into Mississippi here. So there it is right there. It's going to impact Parkdale, Wilmot, Portland, Montrose, and over towards Lake Village and the Eudora area, and also towards Greenville, okay? This storm is moving very quickly. As you can see, it came out of northeastern Louisiana, straight into Ashley County, and straight going into Chico County at this point. So take your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows. Put as many walls to the outside as possible. Get to the lowest area of your home immediately here. So I'm going to see if I can get in contact with one of our chasers real quickly and see what he's seeing at this point. Give me 1 second. Let's see here. You see. Okay. Alright, so I should be hearing back from him pretty quickly here, guys. I'm hoping everybody was able to see the pinned comment in the live stream. That way everybody was kind of taking a look at this, okay? So Hamburg, right now I would be in shelter at this point here, okay? I know it's right around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I think school is still in session, but still take your tornado precautions immediately in this area, guys. Hamburg, stay where you are at this point. The storm itself is going to pass you to the south and east, but I would not risk it. I would not try to go out and try to take on the storm here, guys. You need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately in this area here, okay? So let me see here. Okay, so at this moment, let me see where he is. Okay, so he is in relatively good area for where that tornado warning is going to be here. So we should be seeing something. He should be seeing something really quickly. He'll hear back from me, and I'll let you guys know what's going to be happening at this point. Okay, so let me see here. Okay, so does it look like, okay, let me see here. Okay, so they're very, very fast moving, guys. And they're so far moving 55 to 60 miles per hour. And at so far, I know there's going to be a lot of people, and we'll talk about this as soon as these tornado warnings have been allowed to expire. I want to say that Arkansas got blessed, okay? Whenever there's severe weather, there's always that bust potential. And that's the one thing that we always talk about, you know. If I would rather take a bust, especially in this situation, because look what happened in Louisiana today. Look what happened in northwestern Arkansas first thing this morning. They got tornadoes in those areas, guys, okay? So anybody that's thinking this is a bust or we hyped it up or anything like that, just take that negativity on somewhere else, guys, okay? We don't need that here at Arkansas Weather Watchers. We tell you guys about severe weather, that way you're prepared for it, okay? If it busts, that is great. But I'm going to tell you this now, Louisiana did us a big favor today. They took the bullet for us here in Arkansas. They've had multiple reports of damage. They've had multiple reports of wind damage, tornado damage down there in central and north central Louisiana, especially from out of this storm coming in from I-20. So it doesn't mean no one got out of this unscathed, okay? Somebody saw severe weather for today, okay? So just kind of keep that in mind across the board here. We're still not done just yet. We still got to get that line out of Arkansas, but right now, just based off of everything, I think we got really, really blessed here in Arkansas today. And I was telling you guys about how if we got this line through Arkansas quick, that it would mitigate our severe threat. But at the same time, if the line kind of slowed down, that was the earlier concern this morning, is the line was beginning to slow down, and we didn't know if it was going to pass through early or not. That's where we had the potential here for seeing severe weather. But fortunately for us, the severe threat is beginning to come to a close here, but we still do have those tornado warnings in southeastern Arkansas at this point. So if you know anybody in Lake Village or in the Hamburg area down here in southeastern Arkansas, take your tornado precautions immediately in this area here, okay? So this is going to switch over to the Little Rock radar here. Give me 1 second. For some odd reason, it went over to Jackson's radar. So just the technical issues that we've had today should be coming up here shortly, guys. So there's the ongoing tornado warnings in this area here. It's going to show a lot of storms. It's going to stretch from eastern Arkansas down to southeastern Arkansas at this point, okay? So this is what we're watching very closely. If you're in Ashley, Chico County, take your tornado precautions immediately. And look at the list of cities. We're talking Hamburg, Fountain Hill, Wilmot, over towards Montrose, Jerome, Dermott, Lake Village, over towards Tiller, and also towards Arkansas City in this area. Take your tornado precautions immediately in this area. Get away from the windows, put as many walls to the outside as possible. Get to the lowest area of your home immediately at this point, okay? So this is the line of storms. This is the line of storms I was telling you guys about that we were watching, that if it came through quick, that would have been great. If it didn't, then we would have to watch for that potential, okay? So right now, you can see there's a line of storms progressing into eastern Arkansas here. All of these storms ahead of the line is it's removing your instability from the atmosphere, okay? So basically what's going on here is the storms ahead of the line is taking care of the environment before the line gets there itself. So you will have a damaging wind threat, okay? The damaging wind threat is still there across the board here along this line, alright? But the big part of the severe threat is to the south of Arkansas at this point, and I want to say, just based off of everything I've looked at, I haven't looked at everything, but based off of what I'm seeing, I'm going to guess that the instability did not get into Arkansas as much as we were firstly anticipating, which is great news, okay? Which is absolutely great news. It's something you want to hear when you're dealing with severe weather. But as I said before, there's two sides to that coin. We got spared here in Arkansas. That's great for the majority. Western Arkansas, northwestern Arkansas, you saw it first thing this morning, okay? Louisiana, you saw severe weather all day. Those folks down there in Louisiana saw it all day. You had it, multiple tornado warnings, multiple severe thunderstorm warnings, damage down there in Louisiana. So you've had reports of damage down there in Louisiana. So somebody took the bullet for us today. Someone took the severe threat for us today. Unfortunately, it was Louisiana, but for us here in Arkansas, we had a lot of storms move through at this point here, okay? So there's a lot of storms moving through at this point. I know there's people asking about the second round. The second round of storms, basically with this line kind of wiping out your atmosphere, I'm not really worried about any sort of major activity behind this line of storms because, matter of fact, we have a lot of rainfall going on behind the line of storms itself here, so that's going to stabilize your atmosphere even more across the area here, guys. So we got to get this line through. The tornado warning still remains in effect down here in far southeastern Arkansas, just because we had a lot of instability down here in southeastern Arkansas. But I want to say Arkansas got really, really blessed with this situation, guys, okay? There's a lot of storms moving through. Mississippi is up next, okay? Mississippi hasn't seen anything all day. They haven't had any sort of rainfall or anything all day, so they've been getting more and more unstable. So if you know anyone in Mississippi, keep an eye out for them over there in Mississippi as well, okay? But this line of storms is quickly moving out towards the east, very, very quickly. So there's the Greenville area. There's tornado warning. It's going to go until 2:45 this afternoon here, okay? So there's a line of storms right through here. All right, we're going to continue to monitor this line of storms as well, because although you don't have a lot of instability to work with these storms, okay, you still would have to deal with that tornado potential as these storms push out towards the east, because there's a good amount of directional shear across the board. But I want to stress, everybody that's behind the line, that includes Little Rock, because I see that comment, everybody behind this line, you are in the clear, okay? You're done. Your severe threat is over, okay? That's the update for Little Rock. You are good to go, guys. If you are behind this line of storms, you are done. Your severe threat is over for this event, okay? There may be additional thunderstorms as the cold front itself begins to move down into Arkansas, but it's not going to produce a lot of severe weather with it, okay? This line of storms took out much of the environment here. Now, I'm going to watch this pretty closely. You can see what's going on here. There could be some additional storms trying to get going up here in northeastern Arkansas. The environment up here is conducive for the potential of seeing brief tornadoes along and ahead of the line. So keep that in mind here. Until this line has passed through Arkansas, we are still not out of the woods just yet. But what's going on down here in Louisiana? Let's take a look what's going on down here in Louisiana. All clear here in Arkansas. No warnings, right? Southeastern Arkansas, a couple of tornado warnings. Louisiana. Take a look what's going on down here in Louisiana. Several severe thunderstorm warnings and several tornado warnings down here in Louisiana at this point, okay? So this is where the majority of the unstable air was today, okay? It didn't make it too much into Arkansas except for far southern Arkansas here, but just kind of keep that in mind here. So I'm going to zoom this back down so we can take a look at the radar here so you can see what's going on. So there's the area of rotation coming out of Louisiana, and I believe it has merged with the line of storms itself here. So I'll be real curious to see if they're going to continue this tornado warning, if they're going to let it go all the way to 245 or not here. But regardless, guys, take your tornado precautions, get away from the exterior walls, get away from the windows, and put as many walls to you on the outside as possible if you are in this tornado warning. That goes for Jerome, for Dermont, for Montrose, Portland, Lake Village, over towards Parkdale in the Wilmot area, okay? But the good news is this is starting to kind of merge itself along the line. So that means you're substituting the damaging tornado threat for the damaging wind threat at this point here, okay? So we're going to go ahead and switch this over to our barometric radar here. I'm going to see if I can get this to load up here. I apologize for any sort of technical issues. It should be coming up here. But one thing I want to stress is this is in far southeastern Arkansas, so it's kind of radar lost zone between Little Rock and Jackson right now. But it does show the area of rotation that was over Wilmot. And just based off what I'm seeing right now, let me see if I can take this out just a little bit further so we can look at it a little closer. Okay, right here. Okay, there's the area of rotation right here, and it's very, very broad, guys. It's merging along the line, so that's really, really good news at this point. Okay, and if we can get this to merge along the line, that will cancel out your tornado threat for this particular storm here. But you will still have to deal with the damaging winds. And I see that comment about the high winds that are coming in with this line. This line is still keeping producing 40 to upwards to 60 mile per hour winds along with it. Okay, there's a high wind warning over here in eastern Arkansas for this particular reason. All right, so it's still capable of producing those high end winds as it's pushing out towards the east here, but no warnings along the line here. There's a special weather statement for 40 mile per hour winds. I got to go for east central Arkansas. But boy, did much of the area get blessed today, man. You had a moderate risk over here in eastern Arkansas. You had an enhanced risk here in the metro, down to Little Rock towards Pocahontas. Slight risk in the marginal risk areas over here. You had tornado damage up here in Springdale. You had a lot of reports over here in western Arkansas from this warning here. But much of the natural state did get really, really lucky at this point here. Okay, so before this is quickly pushing off towards the east-northeast area. Should be out of the natural state by the time we get towards the 4 o'clock time frame here, and then we should be able to kind of relax out of the severe weather mode, and then we'll be able to kind of give you guys a little bit more accurate updates and stuff like that on what's going on here. But beyond this, I think we should be good to go here. Now, I am going to tell you guys, this is not going to be our last severe weather episode for us here in Arkansas, okay? We are watching that Monday, Tuesday time frame of next week here. There's another system that we're going to have to be dealing with as we get towards that Monday and Tuesday time frame. I will have more on that. Today is, let's see, today's Wednesday, so I'll probably have more on that between tomorrow or Friday once we get more data in regarding that. But there is another system that we'll have to deal with as we get towards the Monday and Tuesday time frame of next week. We'll have to wait and see what it can do. This system was lucky enough to miss us to the south in terms of the tornado potential. We still have the tornado potential up here in northwestern Arkansas and western Arkansas this morning, but the majority has been in Louisiana for much of the day. But we will have to watch that Monday and Tuesday time frame for next week here, guys. Could be another severe weather setup for us here in Arkansas. So we're going to continue to monitor these storms down here. The live stream is still going to continue until these tornado warnings have been allowed to expire. But as I said before, with that storm kind of merging with the line, it is going to help kind of mitigate the tornado warning at this point here. Okay, so let me see here. Okay. Alright, so let me see here. Okay, just try to go over everything at this point here. Okay, so right now I'm not seeing any reports in southeastern Arkansas. There is a confirmed tornado actually that it's in northeastern Louisiana. There's a new warning that just went out for it. I'm going to take a look at that real quickly. So we'll go out and take a look at this real fast here. So that's okay. So it's radar indicated at this point. Let me see here. Severe thunderstorms capable of producing a tornado. Look at a long line from Jones to Goodwill to Bakers, moving northeast at 65 miles per hour. This goes for the far southeastern corner of Chico County here. Okay, so remember, take your tornado precautions, meaning getting away from windows, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Get to the lowest area of your home immediately, guys. These are ongoing tornado warnings down here in Ashley and Chico County. If you're just now tuning in, if you need additional information regarding what's going on across the natural state, please take a look at the page. Take a look at our website as well. The radar is going to be on our website. That way nobody's left out guard or anything like that here, guys. But there's a new warning that just went out here. That's for that storm that's coming out of northeastern Louisiana here. It's making a beeline for Mississippi. So Mississippi, you're not done yet. Your event is going to be starting within the next, I would say, 2 hours from now. But that is a massive tornado warning. Let's take a look at that real quick. Okay, so that's coming from Oak Ridge. That's a massive tornado warning. It goes from southeastern Chico County down into western Mississippi, along the Mississippi River, and in northeastern Louisiana at this point, guys. So, listen, before, I know this is outside of our viewing area here, but if you know anybody in Mississippi, if you know anyone in Louisiana, keep them in your prayers, guys. So, before, a lot of people saw severe weather today here. Unfortunately for us here in Arkansas, we got blessed. We were able to kind of mitigate the severe threat because the line was able to push through pretty quickly across the area here. Okay, so Jerome, Montrose, Portland, Lake Village, continue to take your tornado precautions. We're still going to be here. I am in communication with our chasers, trying to make sure. Let me see here, going over everything at this point. Okay, so let me see here, taking a look at that real fast. Okay, all right. So now there's a new severe thunderstorm warning that just went out for the Jonesboro area, and I'm gonna keep an eye on that. Let's take a look at that real quickly. So, not to take anything away from the ongoing tornado warnings, we're gonna zoom this out, and we're gonna turn our attention up here to northeastern Arkansas. Okay, let's take a look at this. All right, so this is for the Jonesboro area, and this is the reason why I was telling you guys the line of storms is not done as of yet. Okay, this is a severe thunderstorm warning, tornado possible in this area. Okay. This is now going for the Jonesboro area. Jonesboro, if you know anyone in Jonesboro, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Okay, I got an inbox in the chat, and not in the chat, in the AWW inbox asking, should we treat this as a tornado warning? Yes, because it is tornado possible here, guys. So if you know anybody up here in the Jonesboro area, they need to be taking their tornado precautions immediately in this area, guys. Let's go over to our velocity scan for just a bit. Okay. There it is right there, the area of rotation, right here, just north of Wiener or just south of Cache at this point, moving northeast here. So we're going to put a track on the storm here. So guys, so before, if y'all need to tag your family or friends, you know anyone in Jonesboro, tag them, all right? There's the area of rotation at this point. This is quickly moving out towards north and east here. So Bay, right around 243, Lake City, 256, 301 for Black Oak, and then 305 for the Monette area here. And so forth. I feel like I've been talking about this area a lot over the last couple of months here, because they've been impacted with not only ice or snow, but also severe weather up here in northeastern Arkansas. So if you know anyone up here in Jonesboro at this point, this is where that severe thunderstorm warning is at this time here. We'll see if I can get back our level 2 radar here, guys. Let me see if I can go back over to this real fast. It should be loading up at any given point. Okay, so bear with me for just a bit. Let me see if I can get this up for you guys here. Okay, so there's the area of rotation right here. We go back to our radar real quickly here. Okay, so there it is right there. Alright, and that's it for. I'm not trying to take anything away from the tornado warnings down there in northeastern Louisiana, southeastern Arkansas, but this is very, very concerning up here in the Jonesboro area here, guys. I'm going to go ahead and go over to our velocity one more time and show you guys what's going on here. So that's the area of rotation right in here, okay, coming into Craighead County. So this is in southwestern Jonesboro County, okay. Take your tornado precautions immediately in this area here. In this particular area, okay? So that's the severe thunderstorm warning, tornado possible down there, up here in northeastern Arkansas, okay? Let's go back down into southeastern Arkansas real quickly, kind of take a look at both at the same time here. Not two birds out, one stone at this point, okay? We're going to go back over to our reflectivity and show you guys what's going on, okay? So we have two distinct areas that we're watching. Southeastern Arkansas. Hope everybody can see this screen real good, okay? Southeastern Arkansas. There's your tornado warnings down here. That's going to go until 2:45 this afternoon, okay? Take your tornado precautions immediately. Don't wait for us to tell you to take shelter, okay? Take shelter immediately if you are in a tornado warning in this area, okay? Then we have the severe thunderstorm warning up here in Jonesboro, okay? This is tornado possible. Take your tornado precautions immediately in this area here. If you know anyone in Jonesboro, tag them, okay? Tag them in this live stream. We're going over this information at this point here. White County, you're in the clear, okay? I'm getting a lot of questions about White County at this point, guys. White County, you're good to go, okay? You're done. This line of storms has pushed east of White County at this time here. These two areas are where our attention is going to be at this point. One going right over Jonesboro. So Jonesboro, Bookland, Monette, and Leachville. December 10th. Those same cities. I'm not saying this is going to be a repeat, but we're definitely going to have to watch this very, very closely here. A distinct area of rotation with the storm here that's up here near Jonesboro at this point here, okay? And then we have the tornado warnings down here in southeastern Arkansas that's quickly moving off to the north and east here at about 55 to 60 miles per hour. Take your tornado precautions immediately in these areas. And else for both this tornado warning here and this severe thunderstorm warning up here in northeastern Arkansas, because this severe thunderstorm warning, as you can see, is tornado possible. Okay, so there's tornado possible tag with that severe thunderstorm warning here at this point here, guys. So very active day across the board. This line of storms is gaining strength as it's pushing off towards the east. All right. This tornado warning itself is going to go until 2:45, so we have about 20 more minutes with this one. And I wouldn't be shocked if this one ended up being canceled. But as soon as this one cancels, we're going to have to pay attention up here towards the Jonesboro area. And this one was just brand new, so for the severe thunderstorm warning. So let's go ahead and talk about that real quickly here. So the severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect till 2:45 for western Craighead County, northwestern Poinsetta County. Severe thunderstorm located near Cache, or 13 miles southwest of Jonesboro, moving northeast at about 40 miles per hour. Hazard 60 mile per hour wind gusts. And also, let's see, before the tornado is possible with this. So this is going to include Jonesboro, Trumpman, towards Brookland, towards Greenfield, towards Haggett, towards Elm Grove up here, towards Gun Point, and also the Bayou View State Wildlife Management Area up here in northeastern Arkansas. Lake Village, we've been talking to you guys about Lake Village over the last hour or so. If you are in Lake Village, take your tornado precautions immediately in this area, okay? Alright, I cannot stress that enough, guys. There's a tornado warning. Please take your tornado precautions immediately in this area. And that's for Lake Village down here in southeastern Arkansas. And as so forth, this is the area of concern that I'm watching as well. And we're also kind of keep an eye on these storms that are trying to get going ahead of the line itself. As we get later into the afternoon, that's where we're going to have to watch and wait and see what happens with this, guys. But there's your line of storms at this point. Two areas. I'm going to draw this out, okay? Down here in southeastern Arkansas, let's see if I can get my marker to work with me. Okay, down here in southeastern Arkansas, and in this area up here in northeastern Arkansas. Everybody else is in the clear. Everybody else over here, good. There's a check mark. Okay, you're done. Your severe threat is completely over with for this event. There may be some additional showers, maybe a thunderstorm or two may try to get going later on, but it shouldn't pose any sort of tornadic or anything like that as we get towards this afternoon into this evening here, okay? But this is what we got going at this point here, guys. So if y'all need that information, follow along with us, okay? What about McGee? I know there's a lot of people saying we're not talking about it. We're talking about both, guys, okay? Northeastern Arkansas and southeastern Arkansas as well here, guys, okay? If you need that information, please take a look at our website, guys. Take a look at our website. It's going to have the interactive radar at this point. McGee at this point. Let's zoom that down to southeastern Arkansas, okay? This tornado warning is well south of the McGee area, okay? This tornadic thunderstorm is not going to impact McGee. This is moving due south and southeast of McGee at this point, okay? This is not going to impact McGee at all. Alright, let's zoom out, okay? There's tornado warning here for northeastern Louisiana and in the western Mississippi, okay? This is what we're looking at this point here, guys. This is moving straight into Lake Village here, but this is not going to impact the McGee area. Dermont, Lake Village, Greenville, take your tornado precautions immediately in this area here, guys. This is quickly moving out towards the northeast at about 55 miles per hour, okay? And as so forth, not taking anything away from the tornado warning at this point, but I am concerned about our folks up here in northeastern Arkansas as well here, because there is so just kind of keep that in mind here. If the connection does drop off for just a second, it will kick back on at this point, so just kind of bear me for just a bit. But there's the tornado warning still in effect down here in southeastern Arkansas, okay? Go ahead and take you guys out and show you guys what's going on at this point here, okay? So it's going to kick back on. Just 1 second, guys. It's going to kick back on here shortly here. But so far, this is what we got at this point. This is moving out towards the northeast at about 50 miles per hour here, guys. So if there's any interruptions with the live stream, I may have to back out and come back into the live stream here if it doesn't come back on here shortly, okay? So let me see here. It's gonna be coming up pretty quickly, guys. So bear me for just a bit. It should be coming up here shortly, okay? So tornado warning, if you're still hearing my voice, tornado warning still remains in effect for the Chico County area here. This is going to go until 2:45 this afternoon. So thunderstorms capable of producing tornadoes are located along the line 10 miles east of Monticello or 6 miles north of Montrose, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. Also, the severe thunderstorm warning up here in northeastern Arkansas, that's going to go until there's actually a new severe thunderstorm warning that just got issued for that. So that's going to go until 3:15. Mainly 60 mile per hour wind gusts with this storm, but we're still going to keep an eye on it for that potential here, okay? So bear me for just a bit. I'm going to cancel this for just a second. It should be coming up real quickly here, okay? For some reason this thing cut out, okay? Alright, for some reason it just decided to cut out, okay? So the internet decided to cut out. What happened? Well, that's great. That's great sauce. What in the world? What in the world just happened? Okay, give me 1 second. I know how to fix this problem. Thank God I still have this. Give me just 1 second. It should be coming up here just shortly. Okay. Okay, there we go. Alright, we're going to go back live for just a bit. Okay. I love it. Yep. Gotta love it. Okay. Alright, let's go back over just for a second, okay?